Okay, welcome everybody. I'm going to share one piece which is so basic that honestly I think we did in the past, but it's so worthwhile that I wanted to do it again. We have two pieces together today, but let's see both. Part of the Vidui Maisris that we say in our parsha is a declaration that a person made a bracha rishona. But how could that be a d'oraisa pshat? Because bracha rishona is only rabbinic. Question number one. What is the ikar mitzvahs? That's pretty important. 3, what is shechianu all about? 4, is the pnimis of Klal Yisrael essentially different than that of the non-Jews? Right, our essence. Is it like, everybody kind of just has the same essence and we just do mitzvahs and they don't? Or there's something different? And how can we reach achdus? So that's important. Was it chor because of sinas chinam or lack of simcha of mitzvahs? Some places says both, right? So how do we work that out? Right. And why would lack of simcha be so severe as to cause severe? Sever, not sever, severe should be near there. As to cause the chorban. Okay, so lo shachachti, let's jump in. Here's Rashi. I want to push, we're starting a little late today, but I'd like to try to do both pieces, because I think both are tremendous and different. But let's see. Lo shachachti, Here's Rashi, milavarach alav rashis ma'asos. I didn't forget for making a bracha. But Temua da birchos brachos derabanan says I'm sure others ask this question. What do you mean lo shachachti? I didn't forget for making a bracha of brachos ma'asos. What do you mean? But brachos derabanan. So we're talking about the doraisa. How could that be? Rimigash was an amazing person. He was the Rebbe of Rab Maimon. Was Rab Maimon the father of the Rambam? Okay, he was a Talmud, I believe, of the Rif, and he was considered like incredibly big. We have him on a few Masechtas, and it says in Shuvas Arimash, so he's a Rishon, but an early Rishon. The Kyle Birkas Shechianu, incredible. We don't mean, he's not saying I didn't make Lafresh Maisrus, not that bracha, but Shechianu. That's also Chiddush Shechianu, is Doraisa. That's also a big Chiddush, but we'll see. Now, so two questions we have to deal with. One, we're going to deal with more than the other. It's like why in the world would Shechianu be Doraisa? What does it mean, etc. Okay? Kavanas advarim. Ki ikar mitzvah achias vasimcha v'chukas adol mitzvah. Oh, look at that line. I should have made it. What's the ikar mitzvah? Sir said. Ikar mitzvah is the chias, the life, and the joy, and the desire that we put into it. Now, ikar is a strong word, but I use different words, which maybe was like guf and neshama. You do mitzvah without that, you have a guf. You have a body. I put on tefillin, definitely. But when you put on tefillin, gavaldig, opportunity, tfeikus, kirva, life, olam haba, it's a different world. Simcha, right? He does the mitzvahs from his heart. Valkain, and therefore he's mishtoki. Now, when it's like that, right, just like anything you want, they're all things we wait for. You don't wait for tasks. I can't wait to do my taxes. You know what I mean? I can't wait to get past my taxes. You know what I mean? Yeah. But a person who loves mitzvahs has a desire for mitzvahs, and he's waiting for them. When will tefillin be there? The Heilige Berditchever after at the end of Yom Tov, they say he would wait and wait and wait. When can he put his tefillin on? He's so excited to wear his tefillin. He hadn't worn tefillin the whole Chol Moed or over a 2-day, 3-day Yom Tov, I don't know. And now he's waiting to put on the mitzvahs. That's it. Yeah. V'chein Amar Hakasuv, Hein An Kelavi Akum Karin Nasa. They are like a nation that stands up like right. We name some wars over that. Right. Kelavi Akum Karin Nasa. Perish Rashi, they stand up, they're chotif mitzvahs, they grab mitzvahs. Zemora, what's the idea of grabbing mitzvahs? This Rashi. Zemora, I'll go to shukal mitzvah, right? When I grab, this is what I was waiting for. Here's the woman. Here she is. Here's my kid. Here's my beloved. So that level of excitement is by non-Jews do mitzvahs, but it's not without excitement. Okay, I'm sure there are some individual non-Jews that are excited about whatever mitzvahs they do, but it's as a klal, it's not them. The pnimis of Klal Yisrael is good, right? Our inner world is a different inner world than a non-Jew's inner world. Very important to know. So Bilam, who had this deep perception, that's why, what was Bilam saying? You don't look and say, wow, Shapell's, they learn. No, every yeshiva learns, right? You're not saying anything by saying that. But, right, so Bilam was giving a shevach, what was unusual about Klal Yisrael. So he says, I see how they wake up and they run to the mitzvahs. They're running to the mitzvahs, running to do Ratzon Konam is something new. Valkain, Bircha Shechianu hi doraisa, ki zeh ikar mitzvah. Now again, this is still a big chiddush, right?
Yeah.
Because I think he means like the Indian of Shechianu. I don't know if he means the actual Shechianu v'kimanu v'yonu lezman hazeh. That I don't know. But it means the Indian of the bracha of Shechianu. Maybe I don't. Either he means the actual bracha is daraisa, which that would be a chiddush to me because I never heard that before, or he means that the mood of ki zeh ikar mitzvah kishosa v'simcha v'chiyus kanal v'zeh mor birchas Shechianu kamuvan ubezeh. Now watch what he does with this. Okay, so the idea I think is pretty clear, but like we said. And this is a musar to me, a musar to all of us. It's just something that we remember and walk around with and hold on to. We can do mitzvahs. By the way, mitzvah bein al also, right? You go to a wedding. I have to go to a wedding.
Yeah.
Maybe the food will be good. I got to go to a wedding. I got to speak to someone. I have to do kibbut Rabbeim. I got to be nice to my wife. I got to speak to I have to do give aids to someone. Or you can see it, shuka, gavaldig. Whoa, this is part of my avodas Hashem. I love Hashem. I love Klal Yisrael. What an opportunity, right? Learning. Every time you open up a Gemara, every time you open up a Nach, it's an opportunity. I'm excited. I'm excited about mitzvahs. Okay?
Yeah.
Obviously, we're going to be excited about some mitzvahs more than others, and each person finds. But the general world of chiyas and excitement is so important. Now, this is amazing. This is amazing. We have a pasuk that says it was because of korban. It says because of you didn't worship Hashem b'simcha. So what caused the korban? Was it sinas chinam, or was it because we didn't do mitzvahs joyfully? Two different worlds, theoretically. Yes? That's his question. Now, you could have said maybe one is bias rishon, one is bias sheni. There might be other answers to this question, right? But that is shelah shelo. Good, everybody hears the question?
It could be one causes the other.
Well, so that's what we see. According to what we've said, Yuvan. Dinei be'emes be'pnimius klal Yisrael heimechad. Where is the period? When I forget that you're part of me and you forget that I'm part of you, because you're you and I'm me and you're you and we're separate, and you have your own way of thinking and I have my way of thinking, and you think this and I think that, and you're this type of Jew and I'm that type of Jew. You're a Chassid and you're a Mizrahi and I'm this and I'm that, and you're less religious, I'm more religious, and who knows what religion is. You're into these mitzvahs, I'm into those mitzvahs, and we're living in the old Ummah period, because we forget the fact that essentially we're one. We go deep enough, right? Just like with family. Sometimes you fight with your brother, but your brother's your brother, right? People have that sense. You see brothers, sometimes they're fighting. I see my own sons, they're like fighting. Well, you were fighting an hour ago. Like, what? No, okay, let's say there. We were fighting, now we're not fighting, right? Because we're brothers. It's the ties that bind. It's deeper than that. So that's deep down, Klal Yisrael is one family. Share b'sarei, share b'saro. Shares nachalosu and ibemes pnimis klal Yisrael mechad. Rak shemak masagufim nasapira. The body separates us. You might now watch this. If we would do simcha b'mitzvahs, hainu pnimis halev meil hayim mesachtim, then we would get together. Ki pnimis im echad lo yasinas china b'neim v'zetali b'zeh. Incredible. So you say like this. Watch this. We can be pnimistic yidden, or we can be chitzonistic yidden. And we can do mitzvahs in a pnimistic way, in an inner way, or in a chitzonistic way. I can be cold and calculated. And, just cold and calculated. I keep Shulchan Aruch.
Yeah.
You see this a lot sometimes in davening. And you suddenly see people davening, it's so far from any hargasha. They're like, it's calculated. They're saying the right words. They're making the right movements. They're doing the right havara, but there's no heart. Zero. I can't really judge. It doesn't look like that. It looks like it's just a performance. It's almost like, here are the words you hear. The sitter tells you what to say them. Yeah. Well, imagine you speak to your wife like that. Hi. It's nice to meet you. It's nice to meet you. How are you?
Yeah.
How is your day? Thank you very much. Take 3 steps back and he walks out of the hotel. You gotta open your heart to the girl.
Yeah.
Huh? You gotta open up, man. You're not gonna make a right. You're like a robot. So here's the point. So look at the beautiful calculation. So when we live in a chitzonistic way, when we do mitzvahs in a chitzonistic way, so our whole outlook is chitzonistic, is outward, and then you're different than me. But when I'm living with my pnimius, I'm living in the simcha shel mitzvah. I'm living in a place where you and I really connect. Because in Panemius, we're really connected. Yeah. So that's how the two ideas are connected, like you said, right? That's how he's learning. If we would do mitzvah b'simcha, then we would come together. Because then I'm living in an inner world.
Yeah.
I'm living in a world of Pneumius. I'm living in an inner world, and in a world you're like me. I don't see the blue. I don't see the white. I don't see this. I don't see Chassid Litvak. I don't mean me. I'm saying right. I don't see Mizrahi. I don't see Frumadim less from. I see Yidden. I see Pneumius. Right. That's what it is. So simple mitzvahs will cause us to have Achdus. So that's very chashuv, because today everybody talks about Achdus. Sometimes they realize, if you don't realize that we have to find commonality, it's not just Achdus. Where? How? So this is one of the, not the only eights obviously, but one of the big eights is to find Achdus is get into Simcha Shel Mitzvahs. Start looking at the world in a deeper way. Start relating to Klal in a deeper way, and then you'll find a place where you make. It was Yuvan. He doesn't bring the Sasaver so much. There's a Heilige Rebbe named the Sasaver. That's another famous question. Because you didn't worship Hashem b'simcha, you get punished. Tachas avada t'sayvecha, you can get the gullus. Why would that be? No, now Yuvan, according to the Kishenos and Simcha mitzvahs, rak k'mitzvah nashim ulumadim, az eina mitzvah nechshevetz kol kach, umistavis mizeh sinas chinam. It's not the etzim point of not doing the mitzvah simcha. It's what it shows. If you're not doing the simcha b'mitzvahs, it shows you're just doing it on an outward level, and then it's not such a chashuv mitzvah. And what's not such a chashuv mitzvah? All types of bad things. It's not linking into a whole life of excitement, of Ahavas Yisrael, etc. That's why it's so severe. So it's not the straight, you didn't do simcha mitzvahs, therefore I punish you. It's that the simcha mitzvahs is a sign. So simcha mitzvahs, here's the point. Simcha mitzvahs brings us to Achdus, and that's how there were two reasons for the Churban, right? And simcha mitzvahs is severe because it all goes wrong when we're not more panemius. And it's like that. I want to tell you, when you're around big people, you realize they have a lot of achdus in them. Sometimes they themselves are part of the they're generals and they're leading the charge, But there are many stories. Let's even something like the Samurov. Many stories about the Samurov's obviously Yisrael and things like that. What do you mean? But he was against this. He was. That was his sibur. But as an individual, he had an enormous heart full of obviously Yisrael. It was two parts of him. He was a general. He was leading his army in the way he thought was the right way to lead his army. That's not the point of how. But as a person, Rashach, by the way, another one. Rashach was a very big lochem of Chamas Hashem. But Rashach as a person was the sweetest person. He was a doll. He's a very humane person. I know many stories of people around him, the humanity that he had, his humanity. He used to have a picture of his 18-year-old daughter that passed away on his bed. He used to give candies when people would see him. He'd take candies for your wife. He had candies in his. He used to go take the candies, tell his guy, boy, make sure to give the candy to a person. He doesn't give a candy. I don't give candies to people. I give it to little kids. I have candies for little kids, but I do partly because of her shop. But he used to give to the wife also. Yosef Farbstein. Or to say, when I would visit Rav Shach, he would say, go for the B'nai Bayis. I think he meant for the kids, for your wife also. Wow. Take candy, give it to your wife. Everybody knew that. Rav Shach went to an older person one time. He said, listen, you're an almond, I'm an almond. You don't have a wife, I don't have a wife. Let's get together Thursday night for bring together. That's what he said to them. We'll have a chalent. That's what he said to them. We'll have for bring, we'll have chalent. You think Rav Shach needs to have shalom with this guy? He's like a hole in the head, Rav Shach's, no, come on. That was exactly the story. I can't remember where I heard it, but also a reliable source. You're an almond, I'm an almond, come. We'll have shalom Thursday night, we'll for bring together.
That's unbelievable.
You have to understand what you're talking about. Someone who was beyond shalom. Rav Shach needed shalom like a hole in the head, Shabbos, I'm sure he ate shalom, but he wanted to make this guy feel good, to be with him. That's obviously true. He was battling things. He battled things he thought he had. That was the chitzonius. You know what I'm saying? He had to do it. It's not. That wasn't. But the pnim was kulo hava. Okay, Givaldi. So let's go. So let's quickly go through the questions. Declaration made the birka, but those are only rabbinic. Yeah. So we're talking about shachianu. What's the ikar mitzvah? The ikar mitzvah is the joy. I just want to emphasize. That doesn't mean, God forbid, a body is also good. If a person does a mitzvah, believe me, plenty of times I daven, so let's not daven. No, I mean, a guf is also good. Putting your body in the right place is also good. So ikr doesn't mean there's not, right? But what's shechianu all about? Now we know what shechianu all about is. Shechianu all about is the chiyas, the simcha, the life, etc. Is a pneumius essentially different than that of the non-Jews? Yes, it is. How can we reach achdus? Very interesting. Get more and more into simcha b'mitzvahs, and that's going to eventually lead to achdus. What's the chorban of... Right, like I say, the last two we spoke about directly. Okay, now, both say one of the big things in the parsha. I'm very excited about this because I just learned about it in Navi a lot. Yeah, is the in Yeshua was when they got to Eretz Yisrael. So I think it was the very day they came to Eretz Yisrael on the 10th, They went to Har Gerizim of Har Eval. First they crossed the Jordan, which is a big thing, and then they got to Har Gerizim of Har Eval, and then there was a whole thing of the Kohanim were in the middle, and some of Leviim, different days, some of Leviim. It was Shimon, Levi. It was, I forgot all of them was there. The Bnei Shvachas were all on the Klola mountain with Ruvain and Zvulun, I think. It was Ruvain and Zvulun in the Bnei Shvachas on Har Eval. It was the other Shvatim on Har Gerizim, which was where the bracha was. And then the Kohanim were turning and said the brachas and the klalas, or this or that. So there are 11 orders altogether, which leads us to the question, why there are 11, not 12? And 2, what does it mean to give a klal an order? And how strong were the brachas of Yaakov Avinu? So this is a short piece. I don't think we ever did this one before. I found this like a blowaway piece. Okay, so let's see. This is built on a Rashi. Riti b'yisoda shel Rabbi Moshe Darshan. I saw in like the Sefer of Moshe Darshan. There's a quote from Rashi. Yud Aleph Arurim Yesh Kain Keneged Yud Aleph Shvatim. The 11 Arurim against each Shevet, Kaviyachol, there's an Arur for him, a Klala. But that leads to the question, why not 12? Because there are 12 Shvatim. Who Keneged Shimon Lo Kasav Arur. But there's no Arur against Shimon. Lefi Shelo Hay Belibo Levarchel of Nemoso. Because Moshe knows that Shimon's not going to get a bracha, which is his own thing, right? Shimon had its own problems, and he didn't get a bracha from Moshe. But look at the beauty. Moshe says, you know what, I'm not going to give Shimon a bracha, but since I'm not going to give him a bracha, I'm not going to give him a klal either. Yeah? Good? So it's not, the Rashi stands on its own as a beautiful thing. And I always say, there are times you're just a musser. Sometimes you have to be tough with people. But you have to be nice to people also. If someone can only be tough, it's always a kash on them. Like, some people, they don't know how to ever express themselves. Okay, but when you're upset, you know how to express yourself. When you're angry, if you know how to express yourself when you're upset, know how to express yourself when you're not upset also. Say something nice. Rabbi Shlomo Kalabach said they came to Rabbi Shlomo once, and they said to him, Shlomo, they're saying bad things about you. So he said, did they say anything nice about me? Nothing nice to say, That's what Shlomo said. That's what I heard once. Nothing nice to say? There's something nice to say also. So I love this. I just love the Pshuto Sharashi. Look how mechub it is. We're going to give Yud Aleph Klaus. Yeah. But Shimon, I know Shimon's not going to be right for a bracha. No bracha, no klaus. So Kipshuto is beautiful. Let's see what the Shem MiShmuel does with it. Rashi, here, okay, Yesh Lomer, second line down. HaPerish, the Be'emes Yisrael Hem Bruchim. This is very interesting. B'Birchas Yaakov Avinu. Already, Klal Yisrael we're mevurachim from Birchas Yaakov, right? Yeah. The two big. By the way, something you really have to understand one time, which I understand myself, is the Indian of bracha. You see how big it is in Torah. Avram's giving the brachas over to Yitzchak, and Yitzchak giving the brachas over to like what does that mean? Giving over the brachas? Here's a bracha. Take it. By us, it's just you throw out a bracha. Give me a bracha. And you see, and it was a big thing. Avram had the koach of brachas, and now it goes to Yitzchak, and then Yaakov's mevarach, and now Moshe's mevarach. It's a big, big topic. So Yaakov's brachas to Klal Yisrael wasn't just, hey, I love you guys, have a nice Shabbos. It was like big. It was changing. It was life changing, in for them. The bracha of Moshe was, I don't know how to explain the bracha of Yaakov. I don't know how to explain it exactly, but it was transformational. That's what I want to say. And it created a situation that Klal Yisrael became a guf of bracha. Okay? Perish debemes Yisrael him bruchim b'birchas Yaakov v'ino. V'alkein be'etzem lo chol him klal l'chal. So therefore, you don't get klalas. We're not right to be cursed. Kin ein ar middabek b'barach. Beautiful. It says that Eliezer couldn't connect to Avram's family, so he's using that whole concept. The klala, you try to makala it doesn't work. I'll give you an example. We all know the idea called ayin hara. So ayin hara is a difficult idea, but the more a person's beloved, the less the ayin hara is shy to them. I don't know too much about ayin hara, but because ayin hara is, people are jealous. Oh yeah. He's like, but someone who's universally loved. There's certain people I know. Some people go against them. You're not going to be matzliach because you don't understand how much love he has, how much support he has. Everybody knows he's a good guy. Everybody knows she's a good woman. You're only gonna lose by going against him. Today it's a low lech. So in a certain way, it's spiritual is like that. Klal Yisrael's essence is muvurachim, and therefore the klala isn't so tough as to them. L'maisa we gave a klala. What are they? Right? Ar Elokim, Ar Maklareu, all the different R's. So he explains. Ki ein arbit dabeh b'baruch. V'aklol hirak b'chitzonis lidchod ached. I'm not sure what that means exactly, but it's like this. I did these two pieces because they're connected. They're all about pnimis and chitzonius. K'moshe ached rak mikra lo betzem means what's the idea of the klala? You do a sin, you get a klala, but it's just like the sin is not you, so the klala is also not you. It's a problem. It can mess things up. You know, you might get it's not. You don't want it. You know what I mean? But it's not essential. It's like the love of a father to a kid. You know, no matter what you do, I will love you. Right? That's it. It's not. Yeah. But klali rak b'chitzon lidchod ached k'mo shached hu rak b'mikra lo betzem. Avol shevet shimon shalonis barich. Right? Imay mekal ha'isachala chas v'shalom be'etzem. Here he's saying a deeper pshat. The way I said it is like a nice calculation. Shimon's not going to get a klala. He's not going to get a bracha. I don't want to give him a klala. He's saying deeper that since Shimon is not going to get the bracha from me, I'm worried that the klala could penetrate deeper than I ever wanted to go. I never want to really curse Klal Yisrael.
It's outside.
It's an outside thing. It's like a punishment. It's like a father punishing a kid, but he doesn't want the kid ever to feel hated. That would be a marshal. The kid needs a slap. You know what I mean? He needs, or whatever. Whether it's the physical slap, the emotional slap, the whatever. But the kid has to be told you don't act like that. But you don't have to say it necessarily. But it has to be that the child knows he has love. That's what it is. But by Shimon, that doesn't have the bracha. Moshe was worried that the klala would penetrate too much. So you don't want to give it to him, right? Understand this, a deep thing. So it's beautiful. So why are there 11, not 12 klalos? That Rashi already told us. I'm not going to give a klala to Shimon. What is a klala on Yisrael all about? It's not against the pnimis, against Klal Yisrael. The Jewish people is mevurachim, but it is on the chitzonius again. It's shaykh to get a klala, get a curse, but the curse is only going to go so far. How strong were the brachos of Yaakov Avinu? Brachos of Yaakov Avinu were very, very strong because they gave us this spiritual. It's like a spiritual haganah. It's like a spiritual medicine against klal, shiur. So that's it. So how do the two pieces relate to each other? We don't always do that. I don't feel obliged to, but you see the two pieces both relate to the idea of pnimius, right? There's the chitzonistic world. In the chitzonistic world, I hate you. You're different than me. From fanatically religious on this side, modern on that side, me in the middle, right? In the world of Pnimius, okay, we're different, and I have to live my way, but we're all Klal Yisrael. I have simcha shel mitzvahs, I love mitzvahs, I love Yidden, I love Klal Yisrael, etc., and that's the ikar of mitzvahs. And also, the same thing, the klalas that relate to us is just the chitzonius. And it's such, there's so many ideas. You've all heard, the tone of these ideas before, but they're ideas we always have to mechazik ourselves in. I spoke on Shabbos about Anila Dodi Dodi Li. That the way I said it, the Rabbi Rebbe, there's a famous piece about it by Soren Tzimai also and others, that they say you act all religious on El. Yes, from an El. You picked it. So he said it's a spiel. So I said like, it's a spiel. It's a spiel all year round. It's a spiel, and El, the real me, comes out. Anila Dodi Dodi Li. Klal Yisrael is Kulava. Ratzaf Ava. The essence of the Jewish people is crazy about the Rosh. Every year, that kid off the derech who's angry, who's screaming, deep down he wants to be close. He wants to be shaykh. Deep down we all love each other. You feel in Israel, look, October 7th comes. I have to tell you, one of the great periods of my life in a certain way was the month or two after October 7th. There was such achdus, It was so beautiful. Afterwards, the politics came again. But those periods, it was a very, very difficult time, obviously, But the feeling in the land of coming together, all the people said they're not going to serve or serving this thing. It was incredible. It was an incredible time to be alive in a certain way. It was a terrible time. It was an incredible time. But that shows. It means, what do you mean? All Israelis, everybody's at each other's source. So now it's politics again. But the pnim of Klal Yisrael is achdus, is simcha shel mitzvah, is achdus, is seeing things together. Chitzonis, we all have to live in a chitzonistic world also. But we always have to remember achdus who we are. That should bring us to simcha shel mitzvah. The more we have simcha shel mitzvah, so we're muvarachim. Klal is not shaykh to us. Sin is not shaykh to us. Pure is not shaykh to us. And we have to always live. The more you live in I'll end with a word. I didn't say it in my shmooze, but there was an article about when Rav Kook or Moshe Mordechai Epstein, one other guy, went to Philadelphia. So they were talking about the writer, was a very sensitive person. He said, you saw people who were totally absorbed in a deeper world. Such an incredible lush. You want to know what Rav Kook was? What was the true God of Yisrael? They live in a different world, in an inner world, absorbed, not self-absorbed, not self, absorbed in an inner world. The more we live in an inner world, the more we can be together on the outside. But at Hashem, we should see Achdus amongst Klal Yisrael. Good Shabbos.